right? Now, at the time, I don't believe my mom knew, or maybe she did know. I'm not going to blame her for it. Let's just say, I don't know. Allah Ya'lam. But I know that those aunties knew what was going on. And plus, I had uncles too that, especially Abti Aidarus, for example. His name is Aidarus, right? They used to always be my 13 years old. I'm ignoring you guys. I know there's a lot of opportunities in my DMs. I'm on like a little spiritual detox right now, and it feels amazing, you know? You need to sweat a lot. You need to ground your feet in the grass, pray, and, you know, that's where you come up with the most stuff, is when, bless her, it became like a place to mock and joke and all that at, right? The rooms, you know, it's just strictly for people that walk in and want to keep the outside problems outside. And when you step up into that room, that's where, you know, the peace comes, right? Or if you're battling things, that's where you can cry at, you know what I mean? And that's where you can pray at and things of that nature. Even sleep is honestly normal, you know, especially, you know, a family like me, we're very aware, you know what I mean? We're very sensitive to a lot of energies, and a lot of times, you know, discernment isn't used, you know? And when discernment and all that and loving, it's just when someone doesn't have control of their emotional side of things, you know, who gets the backfire of it? Why does that person get the backfire of it? And how come the next day it's like a whole new personality, you know? So that's what I have to face, you know what I mean? And it sucks. It gets very, very frustrating. However, I never raise a hand to my mother. But however, whatever that's worth wants me to harm her to solidify that all men are beaters. You get what I mean? So I'm like, for schizophrenia, I don't know what it is, but it got to the point where even your own loved one is trying to get you. It's more so of like, I feel bad for my. How can you live in peace knowing that you have all these things, but there's all these problems that are just popping up, and there's no solution. There's no ability to resolve this solution. It's laid in the hands of anything other than the one who created us. You know me, I like to stay aware. So I know about all the aunties that call my mom, you know what I mean? I know the types of conversations that they have. I know what they like to incite on my mom. And it's like they're her handlers, you know what I mean? They're her handlers. So, and I listen to it too because obviously when people talk, it's all about leverage, you know? So whole time my mom gave me all the ammunition to completely destroy all my aunts. Everything. Because I'm her son, right? But while she let me know everything, she also threw me inside of it too, right? But I'm okay with the fire because the fire doesn't burn me at all. It just makes me burn brighter, shine bright. However, I realized that the only people that my mom would ever listen to are my mom's sisters. Now, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so the only person that my mom listens to is just her sisters. Okay, perfect. And one person in Canada named Sada. I'm like, okay, perfect. So I have all this dirt on her sisters, right? And their kids too, right? Because I can't be the only one that's suffering from this when another person's mom is actually giving her the ammunition to make videos on me. Right? So I found out the culprit behind things, right? As much as my mom does whatever she does, she's innocent. She's just listening to what the people say that give her money, you know? And I feel for her. However, that gave me so much leverage, let's say that, to assess their personalities, to assess their strengths, their weaknesses, categorize their profile. And then from there, I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the aunt that's been doing what she was doing. You feel me? Interesting. What do I have on her? I have this. Has a family that she loves, but she decides to call my mom and was there when I used to get physically abused as a child, right? Didn't say nothing, right? And now they're running all these like illegal businesses. They have children fleeing U.S. because they killing people, you know what I mean? And they flying over here. And their mother wouldn't get out of my business, you feel me? Who I am. Like, always have something to say. So I'm just like, you know what? There's no point in fighting fire with fire. I'm gonna just fight your deception with truth. If I get thrown on the bus, that's okay. But I'm bringing you to the light as well. Because I can't be the only one that gets crucified for something that I did not do. And on top of that, you can't just be having a benefit to just call my mother and tell her exactly and send her money in order for her to carry that out. So it's like, yeah, I'm definitely standing by her. However, there's this lady that she talks to a lot. Her name is Salah, right? And yeah, she's the grandmother of my niece named Libin, right? And they live in Minnesota. However, when I was flying from America, Salah came with, well, me and my mom went there alone to the airport to fly out from MSP to Nairobi. However, she was there. And it was as if that she had this look in her eye, you know? Because my niece suffered from, you know what I mean, Percocet, jealous, suffering from seizures now. So she felt that instant regret in her stomach, and I felt it. We were in Amsterdam. We were waiting about an hour until we fly. And I was just looking at my mom. I said, oh, yeah, you know. I was kind of like jokingly saying, oh, yeah, you know. Kind of said this thing right here, but I said it in third person. My mom caught on, and that's when Anna saw, like, her eyes start twitching. She was like, So, boom. So, I have nothing wrong with aunties, but now I realize that since she's a culprit, so she has a sister named Udhaxeyso, right? Who I used to close doors, okay? And I'm just like, why can't this old lady respectfully respect me? You know what I mean? And I'm talking to my mom. I'm like, oh, yo, I know who she is. I want to know how long has she been doing this and how long is she going to be doing this for? Because I cannot tolerate this going on. My mom is like, well, you're right. So she gave me everything on her. Told me everything from point A to point Z. You know what I mean? To completely finish her, right? So I was like, cool. I'm going to keep that as leverage. And I also have it on, I have an auntie named, I mean, she used to say hi, you know? So I had an issue with one of her sons trying to molest me, you know what I mean? And then when I had an issue with that, his name was Kadib, and I realized how he was like, you know, they're linked to molesting children. So I'm like, okay. So I remember I used to look at, I'm looking at Habalila at the house, right? And I'm just starting to pick up on behaviors when I was young, because I remember every person's behavior, what they were hiding, what they were concealing. I was just profile them, you know? And I was really good at it. And I found out a whole nother way to damage me through calling my mom and